welcome to another episode of La Ventanita, the Miami Herald food podcast. I'm Carlos Frias, the Miami Herald food editor, joined every week by
Amy Reyes.
over
Hi.
there. She's over here on this side
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
over on
screen.
this side. Wait,
all right.
We're so dumb.
I don't know. I think it might be for you have an excuse because you're a little bit sick today. You're a little bit stuffy. So, like any medicine that you're on, you could blame it on that. You could blame it.
No, I have a bad case of Kendall COVID.
I got because you love swimming in that. You love swimming in the poop water in Biscayne Bay.
Yeah, no, listen. I'm not gonna let you besmirch the poop water of Key Biscayne. I think that I got sick. So I went to El Farito on Saturday and hung out with
Mistake number one.
Yeah, well, I went to Farito over in Bill Baggs, and we had a lovely day swimming with the peoples. And then one of my girlfriends was in from out of town, and she was at the Fontainebleau. So I had a Sunday, which was a more VIP fancy experience at the beach. However, that beach was covered in seaweed, and henceforth, Amy has been sick.
You got the red tide COVID.
I got that red tide COVID. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it may be COVID, it may be E. coli, it may be red tide.
It could be just a regular head cold.
But you're here.
I'm here.
Like you made it. But right after this, right to bed.
Yeah, I should probably just get back in bed. Like nobody's missing. When we were in Doral, a guy who used to just sit there and cough all the time, and we were always just like, "Go home, bro. Like, what are you doing here?"
There's a guy like that in every office, I think.
Pretty much.
A guy that just
nobody needs you to be sick and at work.
Your job is not that important. The one thing I've learned doing this job, but any job, is like, if I died tomorrow, the paper would get out the next day, no problem. Nothing else would happen. So
I mean, we would figure it out, I guess.
Yeah,
I'd be sad.
I know we'd be sad, but you'd sadly be putting out the paper. It's fine. It'll get out without us. Mm-hmm. What do we have going on? We have a couple things, right?
Let me tell you before I forget. Okay, we have a new poll going on.
Oh my God!
And this poll. Another one of our unscientific polls. This poll is to figure out what is Miami's favorite new restaurant. And in case you didn't notice, we put the call out last week. So we posted a story where you could write in your favorite new restaurant. And based on the submissions, we created a Sweet 16, which is currently the one that is circulating. If your restaurant was not on there, if you didn't get your favorite place on there, it's because you didn't submit. And so the other one is out there. The poll is active, and you can vote for your favorite. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the croquetas. We're going to divide it to 8, then to 4, then to 2, then to name the number one favorite.
The internet's favorite.
The internet's favorite.
Yep.
So keep your eye out for our new restaurant favorite poll. That's out there.
I think what you're saying is Miami, get on the poll.
Get on it.
We also we were talking earlier this week about that new food hall that opened in South Beach. So now South Beach now has 3 food halls, and this one, they said they're going to cater to locals, and we were kind of swept up by that. Like, oh, this is interesting. This one's it's gonna have like tacos and tattoos from Kendall,
which has a wonderful fried cheese taco, which the world needs to know about.
A fried cheese taco.
Dude,
that seems like a give up, but okay, I believe it. Oh, they put like Nicaraguan cheese in there?
Exactly.
Okay.
Dude,
I like that.
I don't have any, there's no words for it.
I don't hate that. And they're going to have like Dumpling King, which everybody likes up on 163rd Street. They're one of the few places in town that'll do the soup dumpling, where you bite a little bit of the edge of the dumpling and then you slurp out, very carefully slurp out the soup, because it can be scalding hot.
I was gonna say that sounds like a mouth burn waiting to happen.
Yeah, no, but you bite it and you kind of have to let it air out. There's a whole secret.
There's gonna be a lot of like this, like
like that Celine Dion. You got to go find that meme. That's ridiculous. But what we found out later is that the food hall is actually owned by this group called Cloud Kitchens, which is the new company from the Uber founder, Travis Kalanick. I think that's how he says his last name. And they're being very quiet, like very stealthy about the places where they buy a piece of real estate. Yeah, they buy a piece of real estate. They buy it under a different company's name. And they don't necessarily go out of their way to let you know that it's a ghost kitchen, which I think is a little bit
Ghosty.
Yeah, a little bit disingenuous, a little ghosty to be like, oh, this is all. Although I think, the thing with this one is there are going to have vendors, folks who are doing their cooking, but it's also going to have a Popeye's ghost kitchen. So it's
Oh,
like,
well. Well, I will say this. I think that the people of South Beach deserve fried cheese tacos. So I appreciate the fact that we are now evangelizing the wonderful treats of Kendall.
Ay, Dios mío, con Kendall.
South Beach.
That's all we need now is we need the Kendall mob. I mean the South Beach mobs to just overtake Kendall Drive. Perfect.
Right.
We should just shut down Kendall Drive, or as it's called, 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. Shut down Kendall Drive. So
You're
anyway,
weird. All right,
anyway, moving on from the haterade. So I'm really interested in talking with with today's guest. Today's guest is Adrian Castro. Now, a lot of people only know him by the nickname either Manolo or Panolo. So I'm gonna explain why. So explaining why Adrian named his fantastic little Havana steak sandwich pop-up Panolo's is a little bit like explaining one of your kids' memes. They have multiple tiers.
So many layers.
Yeah, so because Adrian goes by the nickname Manolo man, at the wrestling-themed Union Craft Beer Bar in Miami, where he manages the bar, and he films these hilarious videos for social media where he plays a cubanazo like Manolo from Scarface. And so during the pandemic, he started making Cuban pan con vite on Thursdays, modeled after the ones at Mary's Coin Laundry, which is a local's favorite. Especially post 10 p.m., that's where you'll find the most interesting people eating delicious pan con vite at Mary's Coin Laundry. Because what is Miami if not a place where you can wash your clothes and get a pan con vite all at the same time? So he named his thing Panolos instead of Manolo.
Okay.
So you got all that?
It sounds like layers.
Yeah,
so many
layers of Miami-dom. And so he also helped found Miami Beer Week with the very first one, which actually started yesterday. And because this is Miami, it runs for longer than a week for some reason. I don't know. But it started on 420.
Fortnite.
It started on 420. It lasts longer than a week. It's hastily put together, but it's got a lot of support from a lot of breweries and bars and people who love all the beer nerds. So we'll ask him about his pan con vite, why he started Beer Week, what he thought when a past guest, Alex Lackamore, who helped write the music to Hamilton and is from Kendall, just raved about his pan con vite. So we're going to welcome Adrian. What's up, Adrian?
Hello, Franks. I mean, I feel like it's only right with that introduction that I speak Spanish for the rest of the podcast.
Okay, man. Welcome
So,
to the...
de aquí adelante, español solamente.
And the thing is, which is fine because Amy's Spanish is better than yours or mine.
Probably, yeah, I don't speak Spanish. I speak Cuban.
Well, I speak Dominican, so it's okay. We'll understand each other.
Perfect.
We all speak Miami. That's what matters.
We speak
Exactly,
Miami,
that's
pretty
what that
much.
is.
We speak Miami.
And it's crazy. We all we go anywhere else, travel anywhere else outside of Miami, and we carry. Everybody always says we have an accent, and for us, we're just dumbfounded, right? Like, no, what do you mean? I speak perfect English, and apparently we all have an accent, and it's that Miami accent that we all carry.
Well, my youngest daughter, the one who's been raised the most in Miami, she's like, "What accent? I don't have an accent, bro." And so,
Pero
God,
I
what are you
don't have an
talking
accent. Pero what are you talking about?
but like, and the is like, you feel it crackle in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Michigan, and so everybody tells me that I sound like I'm from straight up Minnesota or something, but
Minnesota.
I don't hear it. And then when I go to Michigan, they're like, "What is with your accent?" And I'm like, "I speak how I speak.
I'm from
Yeah.
nowhere now.
I'm from nowhere. I'm
have
ruined.
no
I'm damaged goods."
So what's going on with you, bro? Where are you coming to us from?
Live from Hialeah, baby.
Hialeah.
So,
Here, initially I wanted to be outside, get the Hialeah scenery in there, but yeah, it's too windy. It probably wouldn't make for a great show because it's too windy, and then you have El Alfilador driving by.
Afilador.
Yeah.
The little musiquita.
The little
yeah, he comes
musiquita.
to Kendall too.
Does he?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
He
that's
does.
that's
He
that's
does.
the real Mr. Worldwide right there. It's Mr. Miami right there, El
Yeah,
Afilador.
Mr. Afilador, definitely. That
Can
guy.
I bust one myth of El Afilador? So one day he's in my neighborhood and I'm in the car and I hear El Afilador and I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna follow this guy like out of curiosity. And the guy, the character's driving, and the voice is coming out, and it's not him, and it's when it hits me that it's a recording.
Oh my
Because
God.
I'm
What?
dumb.
Why would you? Don't share that. No, you just ruined all our dreams right now.
It's a recording. El Afilador is a lie.
I was just gonna ask, like, is that guy like how old is this guy? Because that guy's been around forever and he sounds identically the same. It's the
Do
same
you
guy.
think
Just
there's only
running the
one?
truck.
Do you think there's like it's like a franchise? Do you think they have like the afilador de
It's-
Kendall,
no.
el afilador de Hialeah?
Knowing the way Miami operates, I'm sure they have more than one, and
And
they
they're
made a
all
franchise
painted-
out of it.
They're all painted the same. Like there's
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
slight
Recording.
difference.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
recording on every truck.
Yeah, exactly. They just recorded. Some guy recorded the other guy from outside the truck and just started
Mira,
playing
oye, mi
that.
hermano, oye, ¿tú sabes qué? Préstame ahí el audio para ir por la esquina.
The afilador version of "Let me get
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
ox." Let me get the.
There's actually a local, Madam K. She's a local artist and a Cuban activist. She actually has a song sampling the afilador. I think the name of the song is Afiladora or
God, I
Afiladora,
need to
and
hear that.
she samples the afilador, like that sound clip or sound bite.
That
Bro,
sounds
we gotta
amazing.
find that. We gotta find
Yeah,
that.
I'll-
Is that
I'll
on the
send it
internet
to you.
somewhere?
Yeah, for sure. It's on Spotify and all that. I'll send it to you, but yeah, for sure.
That is amazing, bro. I love very Miami things like that.
Yeah,
References
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Speaking of very Miami things, so we need to discuss the
Pero, like-
Cuban Chancleta beer pong competition.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
taking
that's
place
happening
at one
tomorrow.
of your
I'm
beer
actually
week events.
Super proud of that event. So yeah, so we're actually
hear it.
so I have a friend that works at the Bend, and the Bend is a local watering hole not too far from us, and I feel like they want to do something Hialeah themed, but incorporating the beer. So we have two Hialeah breweries now, with King Fox and Unbranded Brewing. So we're able to plug them into the Bend. The name of the spot is the Bend for those of you that are familiar with it. Cocktail bar, watering hole in Hialeah, Miami Lakes, and we're tying in the Hialeah theme. So it's gonna be based off Ño Que Barato. The theme is Ño Que Cerveza. So both the King Fox and Unbranded will be pouring their beers. They'll be present. And we have a buddy of mine that also does pancobites, fritas, Raul from Are You Hungry Grill. He's gonna be set up serving food out there.
Are you gonna fight that guy? Are you guys gonna?
We're in the works of setting up a live pay-per-view, a live pay-per-view, well, battle of the pancobites. But really quick, this doesn't get more Miami than this one. When your roommates bring you cafecito.
Yes, bro. That is a
Aw, look
friend
at
right there,
that.
bro.
They love you.
If you can just pour it for me, Coop, you can't have cafecito, buddy.
Qué rico, man.
Qué rico cafecito. Mira, yo estaba
Qué
aquí con
rico
el
cafecito, man.
Yo estaba aquí con el té, con el tecito, practicing healthy habits, sin la azúcar, pero
No.
you can't say no to cafecito, right?
He's like,
No.
deja la pendeja
Cheers,
esa
thank
de té.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, brother. Coño, you're
Cheers.
having the best time right now, man.
Viste, thank you. Te quiero. That's Hialeah. That's the perks of having roommates in Hialeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I was in Hialeah just yesterday. I went to Chico's over on the west side of Hialeah. They've been there for like 40 plus years, and I was talking to one of the original owners, he's 86, man, 86 or 82, Jesus, man, and they're like, it's that part of that culture. Like immediately we were having un cafecito, I was getting a colada, we were in la ventanita. That's
La Ventanita culture. It's such a thing. Like that culture of La Ventanita. It's deeper and goes beyond than just like picking up food or cafecito, right? It's a moment where you can decompress, just settle down, talk to a stranger, which doesn't happen often nowadays. So it's a moment that goes deeper and is more beyond than just picking up some food or some cafecito. It's a moment to disconnect and connect with your local like stranger, if you will.
I think it's pretty cool that it's kind of transcended to another generation. Like it's there's some things that don't necessarily translate to younger people.
Yeah.
But like for instance, I mean, it's something that you're aware of and you do, and you go to La Ventanita, and it feels like it's a cultural thing that continues to be passed down, which I think is
Yeah.
I
great.
think that every generation can appreciate the wonders of pastelitos and tequeños. Like
Oh,
my kids,
yeah.
my kids ask me, "Can we go get a jupiña and a tequeño?" Like that's what they're looking for at the Ventanita.
Yeah.
But I'm in it for the coffee,
It's
obviously.
the cafecito for me. It's the cafecito, some croquetas. Then I definitely need the crackers, the little crackers, and some hot sauce, and that's it for me. That's good for me. And usually I do that I'll just go to a pub across the street and yeah, disconnect for a little bit, get some cafecito. But it's usually not just like a regular colada. It's like un doble, because then you have to come back to uni and share with everybody, especially with
Damn.
Shaggy and Chef. Yeah. So
What's
we get
un doble?
double. Un doble is just two
A double
coladas in a
colada?
cup. Yeah.
Bro, that is like that's some next level. That's
Well,
some
that's
good
David
friendship
J.
there.
David J.
Yeah.
used to buy his own, and then bring one for bring one for the office. Like
Yeah.
That's
David
pretty
J.
great.
When we used to go to an office, he would like bring
Really
one
quick,
for him.
because I'm sorry we got interrupted by Cafecito, but I think that just legitimized the segment La Ventanita. But if we can go back to I don't think we finished
Oh, the beer week.
the event. So going back to that really quick, so yeah, we're tying it all in Hialeah, but we're hosting a beer pong tournament with like large dumpsters, but instead of it being beer pong or volleyball pong shooting into the dumpsters, we're throwing chancletas into the dumpsters and playing beer pong that way. And that event is tomorrow night.
So if you manage to throw a chancleta into the dumpster, you take a drink.
You take yeah
In
yeah.
in other words, just start drinking.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a
It's
bunch
like
of barefoot
Yeah,
pata
this-
sucia.
yeah,
Pretty
Pata Sucia. We
wide.
might as well just call the event like Pata Sucia Fest. Pata Sucia Beer Week.
Pata sucia fest. Yeah, that seems like it fits pretty well in the
Yeah.
Miami culture and the
I think we
Hialeah
should have
culture.
like the Pata Sucia games. Like they could have a whole like Olympics.
Well,
of-
I think I know Matt and Cushion. You guys had him as a guest recently. Matt has, I think they have like the beer Olympic like Pata Sucia games at Cush. They did it in Hialeah. We competed. It's like
Cush in
an
Hialeah.
industry. Yeah, with Cush in Hialeah, we did it out of their parking lot in Cush in Hialeah. And yeah, we had to toss like chancletas into like a ring. Um, we lost because supposedly we were cheating because we're Union Beer Store. So when we show up, they automatically think we're cheating because of our
Mhm.
antics. But we actually won and we got shafted. We should have won.
You know, this would be a good game for the youth fair. Is like throw the chancleta at the person. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That
like,
happens at the youth fair already. The
Well,
chancleta getting thrown at the person.
like a dunking tank, but throwing a chancleta.
Yeah, like a dunking
Like a
tank,
dunk
but like
yeah.
instead of you gotta throw a chancleta.
a chancleta.
I was
I'm
like,
actually
if
wearing
you're
some. I'm wearing some chancletas right now. Chancleta, mira, Nike, acabado de comprar.
Nice. So
was
Adrian,
like-
tell us more about why you decided to create Miami Beer Week in general. Like what was the motivation?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't like to take credit for it at all. I mean, it all started. It really started many years ago. Really, when I know David, who is the owner of Union Beer Store, David and Cece. I mean, he's an OG and pioneer in the industry. And I remember when Union first started, like we would have talks during Wakefest. We'd like meet with John and Maria over at Wakefield for Wakefest, and we'd always just talk. Like it was always something that was talked about back then. And not only amongst us, but others. Like, damn, it'd be cool to have like a beer week. And we really tried to like get things going. But we realized that, yeah, you need support from everybody. This isn't just like a one man thing or a one brand thing. Like we need the backing of the entire city. And right now the beer scene in Miami has grown tremendously. We have over 20 breweries now. I can't even tell you exactly how many we have because they just keep popping up. So then, yeah, we got to a point where I know, and Will from Tripping Animals, he does a great job of getting a bunch of people into the same room. He got us all together, all the breweries and everybody. And we discussed it. We're like, hey, let's finally do this. I think now we're more than ready. And then everybody was on board. And we said, all right, let's finally get this running and do it. I think Miami can showcase that we are a dominant beer scene in the country, and that's how it all pretty much started. But there's been talks back then of really like getting a beer week started, but now it's finally, we have the power, the backing amongst all the breweries that have opened up that we can finally get something going and legitimize it.
So Carlos reported that you guys also created like a special beer for it. Like
Yeah, so we were
what's
able to
it
get.
called? Lager Me Bro?
So it's called Lager Me Bro.
Perfect.
We wanted to call it. I know we were talking about this before earlier right now in the podcast. But we wanted to call it Pero Like Lager Me Bro. 'Cause it doesn't get more Miami than that.
Right.
But yeah, it's called Lager Me Bro, and there's a bunch of all the breweries. Really, we tried getting all the breweries together the day of the collab. We brewed the beer together, took a photo, and yeah, now you can get it. You can get it at several spots throughout the city. And that same day that we all got there to brew the beer, we filmed. I don't know if you guys have seen it, Carlos. I don't know if you ended up watching it or not, but we filmed an epic production. Bryson from Ionit Studios, he's helped a lot with shooting our films back then, but he helped We recreated the Anchorman fight scene, if you will, and this is something David,
Oh,
actually
perfect.
David, owner of Union, he's been holding on to this script since before the pandemic. We wanted to do a Union styled skit with all the breweries as an Anchorman fight scene and recreating that. The pandemic happened, we all couldn't get together, so David's like eagerly been holding on to the script for 2 years, and we finally, like, what better way to finally do this than getting everybody together for Miami Beer Week while we're brewing the beer. And we filmed it, and it really is like an epic production, and we're super proud of it. And you guys need to definitely watch it. It's just ridiculous. We have a cameo by a post office employee who came in and did a delivery and interrupted the segment, and he's in the production. It's actually pretty great. Um, and
I
yeah,
think
yeah, we filmed that during it's like an ad, if you will, an advertisement, just getting Miami Beer Week on the map while we all brewed the beer together. Because it's very hard to get, as everybody I'm sure knows, it's very hard to get like a group of people together
Yeah.
making plans. But the fact that was a special day and a special moment, because the fact that we were able to get all of Miami beer and Miami breweries and their owners, their employees together, they all took the day off to be there for that. Like it showed the importance of how, and I get goosebumps and chills just talking about it, but it shows the importance of like how beautiful of a moment that was, that we're actually doing something bigger than ourselves, and it was something for the city of Miami, and even bigger than beer. It's representing our city, and that's been the motto since Beer Week started, is we're putting on for our city. Yes, our beer scene, but at the end of the day, we're representing Miami and doing something for our city. And yeah, to have everybody together that day was a special moment for sure.
it's funny because Union Beer Bar is like wrestling themed.
Yeah.
So like I can see it now, like David appreciating like the storylines that
Oh
go
yeah,
into
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. He gets
production.
deep
And
in it.
so
Yeah, yeah.
Amy, if you ever see their Instagram, like you haven't done it
We
that
haven't
much
done in a
anymore,
while. We
but
haven't done in a
they would
while.
do these whole like storylines, all Instagram stories of these
We're
incredible.
actually
Yeah,
we're
it's pretty
actually
great.
we're rekindling a storyline on Monday. I can go on and probably talk about it forever and break down the whole story, but to give you to
No,
give
let's
you
see it. I can't
to,
wait to see it.
to give you notes on it. So Alex Masfarrell, who works at Tripping Animals, now used to work at MIA, he popped into Union one day and stole our 3 foot doll of the Rock. Of We call him La Piedra. Um, and
Of course.
this was like 3 years ago. Took him. There was a big war, a big beef. Sprung Beer Fest. We got him back, but we broke him and killed him and broke him into pieces because he was already poisoned by MIA, by Alex. So we didn't want him anymore. He was tainted. So we hosted a funeral for La Piedra.
Oh.
He's been in his coffin for 3 years now. But Alex Masfared's at Tripping Animals now. We're doing an event for Miami Beer Week on Monday with uh, with with Tripping Animals, Outer Range, and Cerebral out of Colorado. And we're resurrecting. I think it's time. La Piedra is resurrected. It's
Wow.
time. So
It's
you will.
like a true soap opera. It's like a novela.
So,
Nobody's ever
like,
Oh, it's
dead.
wrestling.
what are you gonna
Wrestling.
like
It's
Frankenstein him or something
well,
like that? You're gonna have to
come on,
resurrect him from.
come on Monday. Come on
You're gonna
Monday,
have
and
to get the voodoo
get at
priestess out there,
we're gonna have to get
the
some
santero.
Cuban santeros out there in the backyard in Jardín.
I
But he will be resurrected, or we're going to attempt to resurrect him on Monday for sure.
All right. Well, all right. Take us to how we got here. Like you were an FIU marketing grad, if I'm not mistaken,
So
right?
I
Tell me,
I
how
studied
did you go from that to managing a bar to being the orchestrator of these ridiculous
yeah.
feats?
All right, here we go. Story time. So I graduated from, I went to Miami Dade College. I went to FIU. I graduated with an HR management degree. I was in the HR field for
Wow, that's exciting. HR management. I can almost hear the production video. Dun, 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 dun. You're in HR.
I was doing HR for 10 years. It was my career. I was the senior employment specialist for Miami Dade College for the HR team. So I represented like 3 or 4 campuses. I still have a great relationship with everybody there. Um, I grew not only as a professional, I grew as a man. As I started there as a kid, I was there 10 years. So I grew as an adult, being there and professionally. But I've always felt, and I feel more now as people have come to know, and I guess my personality, like it's very hard for me to just being like restrained. And I have nothing against the corporate field at all, but just for me personally, I can't sit still. Like I need to just like burst out and like just put pieces of my soul onto everything. You know what I mean?
For
So
sure.
I need to create and just like and do things. And then David was opening up Union, and I was passionate about craft beer. I'd been in the craft beer scene for or a craft beer like fanatic consumer for a long time. And I was like, David was opening up uni, and I'm like, dude, if you need help, like I saw it as this golden opportunity, right? Like I can break out, and like this is something I can help with. But at first, like I know David was like against it, oh, hiring friends and whatnot, and I get it. And then also he thought I was already set in my career, but I had to send him after like the third time. I had to send him a formal email, like pages long, about like a formal email about what I bring to the table, my strengths, my weaknesses, what I can bring
Wow.
to the brand. And his exact response was, "Okay, let's talk. Let's sit with CC and let's talk."
Wow.
Um,
There's a Puerto Rican saying that says, compay, compay, pero la gallina vale 2 pesos. In other words, yeah, yeah, we're buddies and whatever, but business is business, you know?
Yeah.
And it seems like that
Yeah.
you guys had to figure out
Yeah.
friendship and business side too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, and then I was doing both for almost about a year, full time at the college, and then transitioned to part time at the college while I was at the bar full time. And then yeah, I got to a point where all right, let's run with this. And yeah, then union started, and then yeah, I mean, I've always considered myself to have a passion. Like my true passion is like creating, right? Like I like to create. It helps me express myself. It helps me put pieces of my soul onto other things and just express who I am as an individual. So yeah, union was that canvas of letting me just create and being myself. I was able to just be myself. And then the pandemic came, and I'd always, even back in FIU, I know with a group of my friends, we would always end up at Mary's Coin Laundry after like a late night, a college night. Like we'd go out to Mary's Coin Laundry or cualquier little spot here in Hialeah. We'd end up and we'd have a panko bite, and we'd always wonder like, damn, like if only we had like a panko bite cart and like make it our way, the way we want to make it. And that was back then. And then pandemic happened. I was like, you know what? Like, I had this vision of making a panko bite, but like, it's like who doesn't like cilantro aioli, right? Like who doesn't go to Pollo Tropical and get some green sauce? Like everybody
Yes.
does.
Just
So I
That's
was
to
the
like,
have
good
it.
stuff. Yep.
so I was like, damn, what if I start making panko bites finally and putting that sauce in the panko bite?
Yeah.
I think it'll complement it very well with the garlic from the bite, the mojo. So I tested it out. We tested it out in the at the kitchen at home. I had help making the sauce. I didn't know how to. I learned how to taught myself how to fry an egg for the first time, like 6 months before I even made my first paco bite. And actually, there's some friends that like I gave my first paco bite to. He took a bite. Remember Dilo? He works at Tripping Animals. He took a bite. He's like, yo no puedo terminar esto. He threw it away.
So
But
it
yeah,
was
what-
an evolution. It's funny because
Oh, yeah.
I hear Zach Stern, Zach the baker, talk about how he was making his first breads, and the guy that at Caracas Bakery, Manuel, I forget his last name, but Esong, I think is his last name, talking about how they made their breads, and like the first ones are inedible.
Yeah.
And now they're
So
like
wait,
world
is-
class. Like they're
So
the,
is a
they're
pan
some
con
of the best
bistec
in the-
one of those sandwiches that like has to have certain things or else it's not legit? Like the way
It's-
people argue about Cuban sandwiches?
It's sorry, we have a special
Oh
guest.
my
here. Gotta go. Oh, my
Say hi to
that's
the kitty.
No, we love kitties. Kitties are fine. Kitty can
Okay,
stay.
Gata, you can stay. You can stay. Say hi. Say hi. Her name is Gata. Her name is Gata, by the way.
Gata, perfect.
Or Orange, but now she goes by Gata now.
Qué linda está la gata, man.
Que linda la gata, man. But yeah, like I feel like I feel like there's things that make a pan con bistec like a traditional pan con bistec, you know. And for me, I think it's the lettuce, tomato, onions, and the sticks, right? Because I've had pan con bistecs that don't have potato sticks, and I'm just like,
That's not right.
that's not a pan con bistec.
That ain't right.
That's like a steak
I
sandwich.
won't name any places, La Carreta.
Damn.
You did me wrong one time.
Wow.
I'm very.
Bro, La
offended.
Carreta didn't put papitas on it?
This was a long time ago, very long
Okay.
time ago. But I haven't had it since because, again, who doesn't put
They were
potato
probably
sticks
out.
on
You
pan
were
con
offended.
bistecs?
They were
But yeah, I
out
feel like
the other
that's what
day.
makes like a traditional pan con bistec. I feel for me, it's my favorite food. It's either if you put me in a deserted island, pan con bistec and a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. It's either or, right? Like those would be my dying meal. Like put me in a deserted island. It's the only thing I can eat for the rest of my life. If pan con bistec or guilty pleasure is a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich.
Oh my God. Bueno, está bien. I won't yuck anybody's yum because when I heard that Taco Bell was bringing back the Mexican pizza, the quote unquote Mexican pizza, I was not sad about it.
I'm not
Yeah.
sad
Not sad
about
about
that
it.
either. I used to eat that in college.
The Mexican pizza?
Yeah, like I ate that in college, but I took off the beef. I would be like, let me get it without the beef, please.
Oh my
So
God.
I made it like
What
a
is it?
vegetarian thing.
It's just like cheese product and,
No,
and
it's got
crispiness.
the bean product. The bean,
The bean product. That's
Not
right.
the cheese product, just the bean product.
The bean product.
Yeah, but yeah,
So,
that's pretty much how Panolos ended up coming about. During the pandemic, we needed food for on-site consumption. So I was like, all right, let's do this thing, and tested it out. Started the panguites in the kitchen of Union so we can have on-site consumption, and here we are now. And actually, you remember Enrique, right? Enrique from
yeah,
Union.
yeah, yeah. He was one of your bartenders. Yep.
Yeah. He was actually in town last weekend, but he's actually the one that gave the name Panolo. He was one day, he's like, dude, why don't you just switch out the M, the with the P, Panolo, and I'm like, God, Enrique, we all hate you, but you're such a genius.
That was a pretty genius idea.
Yeah.
Don't they call him the tongue?
La
Isn't it?
lengua.
La lengua. Because in every photo, the dude is like,
Yeah.
Ew.
yeah. In every photo. Here, let's all do the la lengua.
La lengua. We all miss him. No, we don't. Maybe a little.
And so, like, the reception has been what? Like you used to just do it Thursdays, but now I see you popping up at a bunch of places. Like, you're Mr. Pan con Bistec now?
I mean, that's the goal, right? Is like my goal is just to have people share the same passion for that specific sandwich that I have for it. And yeah, no, people have been loving it. It's been super surreal. I never expected it. It just started because, hey, I want to do this just because I want to do it, and because we needed people to come to Union for on-site consumption, and it took off, and people really like it, and that's been kind of a surreal experience. Certain experiences that have been like being at Sobe, like you would have told me as I was testing out the sauce when I first taught myself how to fry an egg, if you will. I would have never told you that. Yeah, I'm gonna be at Sobe Food and Wine cooking for an event. You know.
What was
Which
that?
event
What
were
was
you
that
at?
like? Yeah.
It was the tapas and cocktails with Michelle Bernstein and Gio from Chat Chow TV. It was like tapas and cocktails pretty much. So I was doing pan con lechon, pretty much. It was like a big party, a Saturday night event, and yeah, there was like local industries as well, or local businesses, local bars. So, oh my, so okay, sorry. So my second roommate just walked in, Alfredo, and guess what he brought? She's here
Cafecito.
for lunch break. And he
Pastelitos.
got
Oh,
another
colada. Oh
cafecito.
my God, look at that.
Another
Bro.
cafecito.
Your
Yeah.
people love you.
Bro, you got great. You got
Your
good
people love
roommates,
you.
man.
Oh man.
I
They
would-
don't know. No, they just love cafecito.
My roommates just expect me to do their laundry and make their food all the time.
Yeah, my roommates are the worst.
I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna apologize from now. So if you guys in the next like 10 minutes start seeing me going like this and talking weird,
Yeah, his pupils are gonna dilate.
you already know why.
Adrian can see into the future now. Hey, so you are you
yeah.
at that point where like you did a thing and you're like, this would be fun to do, and you do it and it catches so much fire that you're like, damn, do I need to ramp this thing up now? Do I need to hire employees? Do I need to like have my own Panolo store? Like, I'm really curious about like where you start thinking about making those decisions. You know,
the help has definitely become to a point where like, yeah, I need consistent help, especially for these like for the pop-ups for sure. I owe like so much to Shaggy, Victor, he Victoriano, if you will. He from Houcha Dumplings. The guy is the best chef. Like he's a legitimate chef, and he's helped me so much because he pops up at Union, so we share the kitchen together. So not only has he like taught me techniques or whatnot, he helps me at these pop-ups as well. But yeah, it's gotten to the point where now I think of like, all right, do I have to like really like hire like somebody to help me out, like to have a consistent team? Right now it's just I bring my friends along, and you see us popping up, and we like to consider ourselves, and again, like people when they hire us or want us to cook at their beer festival or whatever, not only do they want us for the food, but I like to think that they bring us on for the vibe that we provide. Like we just provide a certain vibe. We're just el jangueo, right? Like el jangueo, it's us having a good time. We bring our own speaker. Sometimes we bring a domino table and set it up in front of our pop-up so people can eat there, but also play dominoes. Like it's a vibe. It's a vibe with us. It's just us being us, showcasing, our love for Cuban sandwich, and just us being us,
I think that's kind of how you export Miami culture, I think, is when you do things like that. You bring a piece of yourself, and you bring a little bit of like what your community's about. I think
I'm a
that's
firm
pretty cool.
believer of things happening organically. So I just like to keep it organic, just as much us as you can get, like just giving you us and giving you me and my personality. Like that's it, As far as like a store or something, what I've been thinking lately, and it's something I've been really trying to plan. And this is actually the first time I like put it out there. Like I try to keep things like manifesting within itself and not really sharing it until like things become legitimate. But yeah, I don't think like a food truck or like a store is the move for me. And I know Union Park is opening soon, so a lot of my focus is going to be going on there. Um, but I do one of my goals I set out for 2022 is to go on tour, like a Panolo's tour throughout the country. So I have some breweries already locked down that are interested. So we have Colorado locked down, we have San Diego locked down, New York is locked down.
So you're gonna do pop-ups in all those
So
different breweries?
pop-ups at different breweries, like a 2 month tour, like 2 months or so. Chicago's locked down also. So yeah, I already have equipment. I have a travel trailer. Just got myself, which was gonna be a side. It was just gonna be more like of a mental health like escape, like being able to just go across with my dog. But he's gonna come along with me, and we're just gonna do like the like national parks, but also at the same time be able to take advantage and pop up wherever whatever state we're at. So that's the main goal and focus right now, as opposed to finding a Panolo store or Ventanita. Right now, it's the pop-ups, Union Park, and then really focusing on doing this tour. Like that's where a lot of my focus after Beer Week. I'm gonna start like really focusing on hashing that out.
That sounds like you're just gonna like have some fun, which I
Yeah.
think is great. Like, how can I do this thing that makes
Yeah.
me money that I like doing, but I don't necessarily want
Also
to be a
travel.
slave to a business and also travel?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Take
it
my
sounds like
dog.
fun.
it's been a dream for me for a long time to like get like a sprinter van or like a camper and go with my dog, right? Like go with my dog and go to national park. Like and even back then before I even had my dog, like I always wanted to just like
Wait,
do
but what
that.
happens to the cat? What are you gonna do with the
The,
poor cat?
I think I may bring the cat. I think I may have to bring the cat.
Bro, you
Um,
traveling
You gotta
cross
bring that
country,
cat.
con Panolo and a dog and a cat. I
yeah,
honestly bring a camera. Bring a
yeah.
camera
No, I
and
want to.
just
So that's
like,
the plan. I want to
I want
document
to
it.
watch that show.
yep.
I want to document it. I have a friend that's willing. He works remotely. He's willing to come along on the tours. So he'll help me out. I know the friends that I have at these different breweries. They'll probably help me out too while I'm popping up there. So yeah, so it's been something I've wanted to do for a long time, and then what better like now I finally like again. It's all about things happening organically and being able to manifest it, and it's happened. Like I have everything I need now. It's just like planning it and organizing it logistically and just hitting the road. And I need to practice how to drive that trailer because I don't have experience with something hitched onto my car. So once we get some good practice at Amelia Earhart Park, then we'll hit the road.
So it's a thing that you're gonna sleep in, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
sleep in the little
Yeah,
camper
yeah,
thing in the
yeah.
back.
Has a bed, has AC, has a shower, has a toilet.
O
Hashtag
sea,
van
de
life.
camping, de
The
camping.
van life, the van
That's the
life.
van life, bro.
It's gonna finally happen. But now the fact that like it's gonna happen along with like this little brand that I helped create, tied into this dream that I always wanted to do, is really, really just like surreal. It hasn't really hit me just because it's a big task to take on. But yeah, that's definitely my last major goal for this year is to get the show on the road, if you will.
Nice. I'm excited for you. I'm sad that means that we probably will not have Panolos every Thursday
Yeah.
at Union. That does bum
You know,
me
you
out a
gotta
little
you
bit.
gotta make people miss it sometimes. You know, you come
No.
back
Yeah,
and
that's a
then
good
right.
strategy.
You're right.
And then when it comes back, they'll be like, "Oh my God, Panolo's back."
Reunited and it feels
yeah.
so good.
There's some other like little minor goals as well. Like I'm doing I don't know if you saw, I posted on Instagram like a little teaser. So you guys already know, as I mentioned, the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is my jam along with pango vite. So I used to work at Wendy's when I was in high school.
Yes.
Until I got robbed at gunpoint, and then I said,
What?
okay, no, yeah.
You're like, "I'm done with
Pero,
this."
papo,
That's actually a great story.
how did let's hear it. What
Let's hear
Wendy's?
it.
How did that
It's,
happen?
it could be lengthy.
That's we got nothing but
I'm
time,
not-
bro.
Give
I'm
us
long-
the Ventanita version of it.
Okay. So here we go. So I was 18 years old. I was managing at a Wendy's.
Which one? Where
in,
at?
in Doral. So I worked most of my time. Like I started at 16. I was in the one in Doral, 107th and Northwest 36.
Okay.
But then when I got trained in the one in Hialeah, and then when I became manager, I was in the one on 58th, Northwest 58th, and like 87th Avenue. And it was a Sunday, hot June. I remember it was like June 3rd, like a few days right after my birthday. So I was all, gun ho and happy. And yeah, so I entered the store by myself. I was getting everything ready, 8 in the morning, and some guy calls and he's like, "Hey, I'm here to drop off my application." And I'm like, I can't open the door for you during like closed hours. He's like, "Oh no, but I talked to the managers yesterday. They said it's okay." I go, young, naive, dumb. I go and I see him through the door's closed, but I can see him through the window. hot summer day. He's wearing a hoodie, sunglasses, sweatpants, and I still decided to open.
Yeah,
the
you were like,
door.
this is a good idea.
Oh yes, come rob me.
I'm
please.
gonna open this door.
As soon as as soon as I opened the door, the gun was right at my chest.
Wow, dude.
And I
that's
just
scary,
he didn't even
man.
say what he wanted. He didn't even say. I just turned around. I was like, I remember going like, I can't say the word I said. I don't know if I can curse on here. I'm not going to, just in case. But I remember just being like, all right, I know what you want. So I turned around, went to the safe, forgot the code. He told me to hurry up. Everything you see in a movie, right?
Wow.
I got it. And then when I looked back to ask him if he wanted like the loose change, like the coins, he had like the mask from Scream,
Oh,
but-
snap.
but the one that you push the button and like the blood comes out.
Oh, no.
So I'm like looking back, like I was like, okay, the story's gonna get ridiculous. So I give him, he didn't want the change. He wanted the tape, the recording. I couldn't give it to him because it's all stored digitally. He got me up. He's all right. Now get in the freezer. I'm like, dang. All
Damn,
right.
the freezer. But
Get in
why,
the
bro?
freezer. I was like, Drew, just leave me here.
Just- you got the
can
money,
lock
just-
me in, just go. So he puts me in the freezer. I'm forcing myself to like cry. I'm just like, but nothing's coming out because I'm in shock. And then he knocks on the door. I open the door. Gun is pointed like straight at my forehead. I open up. I'm like, okay, here we
Scary,
go.
bro.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, I need your phone. And I remember like, dude, like this is my first smartphone. Like, and it wasn't even a smartphone at the time.
It was like a flip phone.
it was like a slide up. It was a slide
Oh,
up
okay.
phone. It was like right after Nokia and the Snake game, right? Like the
Wow.
phone after that.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, like this is my like I got my own like I pay for my own phone. This is my first phone. I pay for myself, my own job, and my own money. Like, nah, like I just got this. He's like, no, give it to me now, and doing all his like scare tactics, if you will. I gave him my phone, closes the door, knocks on the door again. I open the door, gun is pointed at my forehead again. The emergency exit's to my right, and he asked me, there's a big stop sign on there, and he asked me, oh, can I go out through this door?
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, yeah, feel
Do
free.
what you
Like,
gotta do.
I told him like the alarm is gonna trigger, like it's an emergency exit, but yeah, you can go. He's like, okay, go back inside. And then he's like, don't come out in 15 minutes. Wait 15 minutes and then you could come out. I'm like, it's such a weird story. I'm like, okay, I got you, sir. I'm gonna go back inside. Went back inside. Didn't wait 15 minutes. Waited 3 minutes. I ran straight into the office because it's bulletproof windows. And then he calls the office again. He calls. And
What?
I pick up and I'm like, hello, Wendy's, how can I help you? and, and he's like, hey, I'm the guy that just robbed you.
Oh my god.
You didn't wait
God.
15 minutes.
He's like, you didn't wait 15 minutes. Now you're never getting your phone. He's like, no, hey, you. He's
Your
like, I
mom
saw your
called.
car. He's like, I saw your car. Your mom called. Oh, actually, trust me, that gets you're gonna see. He's like, I saw your car. I got your license plate. Don't call the police or don't tell anybody anything. But if you do, you tell them like I had long blonde hair. Like, okay, yeah, sure, I got you. All right, bye. I get calls from I call the GM. I remember calling my brother at the time. I was like, don't tell mom anything. Like she's gonna freak out. He starts laughing. He's like, I can't believe that happened to you.
Oh my god.
Only
Yeah.
a brother.
Only a big
Only a
brother.
sibling
Mean.
could
Only
do
your
that.
brother would be that mean.
Yeah.
And then he told my mom. So my mom calls me hysterically or calls the office. At this point, the guy I got called from another manager from another store. The guy that robbed me ended up calling my recent contacts and telling them, hey, I found this guy's phone. Do you want to meet up so I can give you his phone?
Oh,
And
wow. How
luckily
devious.
luckily the recent contacts were store managers and they already knew what was going down. So that's why to this day I don't stave my like mom or tia or just in case somebody robs you or robs your phone, they're gonna go through, and that's why I never had it saved. He was trying to go through because I think he called my tia because I did have tia under tia, but my mom because I know her number by heart, I didn't have it saved. But you could tell he was trying to contact like relatives and close ones.
Wow, super bad dude, man.
Yeah. So then he calls me back again. He
What?
calls back again. And he's like, hey, like, sorry I had to do this. I had a family and I had to like make ends meet. You seem like a good kid. If you want, like, I can meet you up and I can put your phone in a box at a gas station and some of the money that I took from you, I can put it in there for you too. I'm like, nah, just keep it. Just keep it. It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. It's fine.
It's all
Oh
good.
my god.
So
That is
then,
pretty scary.
which is, yeah. So then my this is when the story pretty much ends. It gets like pretty funny. So he kept calling and like saying different things. But then my
What are you
dad,
doing?
yeah. So
It's the guy that robbed you
It's the guy that
again.
robbed you.
so my dad, the tradition was my dad, back in the 80 eras, he was unfortunately locked up in federal correction for 27 years. So tradition was he would call me and my brother on Sundays. Um, he then we're getting very intimate here today, huh?
That's how we do it, man.
so so he would call my home. He would call my home and he'd call our cell phones. He'd call my brother first and then he'd call me. So my brother told him what was going down. He calls my cell phone. The guy picks up, the guy has my phone. The first 5 seconds that you hear is this calls from a federal prison. So the guy picks up and hears that. So my dad has 5 seconds where he can say something. Usually he says like, hey, it's Alberto aprieta el cinco, like press five,
Right.
to accept the call. So in that interval that he had to say something, he said a bunch of things I can't say, but pretty much saying like in Spanish and Cuban. So just picture it, vision it, and hear it. Just saying like, I'm gonna find you in here and I'm gonna do a bunch of terrible things to you when I see you inside where I'm at right now. And that's where the story ends. The guy stopped calling.
The guy
everybody.
never called again.
Oh my God.
That is how
That's
you stop
amazing.
it.
So that's why we're recreating a Wendy's themed Panolo's menu. Coming soon. we are. We actually have the logo and
Because
everything
Wendy's
ready
is
for it.
very near and dear to your
Wendy's-
heart,
Wendy's is
obviously.
life.
There's
Yes,
got to be.
exactly.
Is there going to be a gun in the logo? Is there going to be some?
Yeah.
Is there going to be?
Right?
Is there going to be a bag? There should just be a bag of money in the logo somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
Bro,
was a
that
very
is-
intense story. And I
That
think
was very
about
intense.
how
Sorry
you
if
were
it was
18.
long-winded.
No, it was.
No,
that
no, it was
a
intense.
Gripping story, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were
So-
just a kid. You were 18. That's
18 years old,
terrifying.
man.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer things happen in our lives for not necessarily for a reason, but the things that do happen to us, just grab them, move forward from them, learn from them, and I feel like we all grow and learn through dealing with hardship. And that's how we become the best version of ourselves. Panolo's, pretty much, I feel like the success of Panolo's was through a time in my life where I was going through it, and I was just extremely motivated to get things done. And since the creation of Panolo's, I've been able to accomplish many things and apply myself, and I feel like I've grown in a way that I haven't grown before, and I've applied myself. So again, yeah, there's always things to grab when bad things happen, but I feel like the best way to move forward is through grabbing that hardship and applying it and pa'lante, as they say.
So it sounds like there were other people in your life during your life that must have been really influential to you if your dad was in prison for a long stretch.
Yeah. Definitely. And my mom's a beast. My mom's a word. She's probably
Who we've
listening
met.
right now.
I met her at the
Yeah,
bar.
you've met-
She's
you've
like,
met my mom.
she's like
You've
the
met my mom.
happiest, like the most,
Yeah.
like she seems like the proudest. She was the proudest person in that room.
Oh God, yeah, she's awesome. I don't know, she's my like constant motivation, and like whenever I find myself complaining about something, it's like nah, like she's going like she's not, yeah, she has a lot on her plate, if you will, and she's been able to come into this country, doesn't know the English language, raising me and my brother on her own. Certain obstacles, especially now, behind the scenes are not like, it's not your ideal situation to deal with, and she just palante, and so I look up to her. She's my hero. She's my hero. So she's the the picadillo recipes after her. So yeah, I use her as constant motivation. Again, whenever I find myself complaining about something, it's palante. My mom's making this happen. Yeah, we all should be able to too. Palante, con la cara fuerte and palante. Oye, vieja, si estás escuchando, I love you. Dale.
Aww.
Tell me about some of those things that you saw your mom go through that really that you think back on now that are just kind of ingrained in your head. Like, man, my mom really. This
Yeah,
is
just-
not a thing I thought about as a kid, but now it's like, wow, she really went
Just
through it for me.
the hustle, man. Just the hustle, the
Like
nonstop
what?
hustle. She was like just working.
What did she do
Working
for
even now.
what
She's a
kinds of
manicure.
jobs?
She's a manicurist. She's a manicurist, and I remember she was doing nails like out of her home. And I remember I broke my leg when I was a kid, and she had to stay at home.
Doing what stupid thing did you break your leg?
So I jumped off a second story in chancletas, thinking I was
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man or something.
Obviously.
And I was like, I could do it, and I jumped off, and I broke it's like the bones that connect your toes and like your foot, like
Oh,
all
that's
just
great.
like shattered.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
So she had to work from home, and She ended up being let go from the salon, and I felt like I was like, damn, that's my fault
Oh wow.
because she had to be home. But yeah, and then she makes it happen. She makes it happen for sure.
She's like, you kick me out of there, I'll do it from home. That's fine.
I'll bring all
Yeah,
my
yeah,
people over here.
yeah.
It
So
sounds like
she
it
makes it
sounds like
happen for sure.
your dad seemed to want to stay connected to you guys. If you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
talking to
yeah.
him
So he's
every
yeah,
Sunday.
yes. So he's helped me a lot. Like whenever these pop-ups happens, like he's like, oh yeah, go ahead, carro, si quiere. He doesn't care. He's like, just take my truck, take my truck, take my truck. So he's been a big help. He definitely wants to be involved now a lot. He catch up on time that was missed. I was 4 months old when he was locked up. I was 4 months old. He was released like I want to say in 2013, 2016. Um, is that like 4 years? No, like 5 years ago or so. And yeah, no, just catching up on old time. He was there when I totaled my car recently. He was the first one there, and he's like, oh, like, taking advantage. I don't see him often because he's on the road. He drives trucks. Rastrero, driving.
Oh
He
wow,
drives,
long
delivers like
haul trucker.
flowers and stuff. Yeah, from like he's out the whole week from Monday to Friday driving to New York. So that like little moment, he's like, oh, ¿para dónde vamos? Enséñame aquí, llévame para acá. So it took him to. We had some beers at Union, and we went to Mofongos. And yeah, he's just seeing everything. It's like imagine just like opening your eyes for the first time, like you're born, but you're not a child, right? You're a grown adult, and you're born into this world where you have like knowledge of things, and yes, it's an interesting thing to see because it's I mean it's special because you see his face light up, seeing these things that he hasn't been able to experience for the past those 27 years.
That's exciting because I think like even in the course of your life, like my dad, who was killed a couple years ago, we throughout our life we remade our relationship. Like my relationship with my dad was one thing when I was 5. It was a different thing when I was 15. When I graduated from college, it was different again. We saw each other differently. When I had my first kids, when I was a dad for the first time myself, it changed again. So I
Yeah,
feel like you always have these opportunities to, people that you love that are in your life to reconnect with them and to make new memories with them.
absolutely. No,
And
yeah,
I,
absolutely. And that's what I think is like, and this it all ties in. And again, I get chills just like even starting to like talk about it. But it's conversations like these that I feel like mean the most because again, I feel like there's a lack of being able to be vulnerable and being accepted by being vulnerable. You're criticized or judged if you're vulnerable or I think these are conversations like the one we're having right now, where it's things that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's we should like normalize being vulnerable and having these conversations. So the fact that we can even have this conversation right now, where we can both be vulnerable with each other and be vulnerable on a public format where people are listening, I think is extremely. I'd like to think that I'm a big advocate for mental health. I have a very close relative, my brother, who suffers through mental health issues. So again, that goes back to not being easy on my mom. Um, so hence why I'm wearing the shirt. We try to and got this on me. We try to just be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. The fight for mental health and being able to talk and being vulnerable, can't stress that enough, is extremely important. And it's special to have that conversation right now in a public format where we can just normalize that. Like let's work towards normalizing that. And I hope that with the exposure through the brand, through Panolos, I can gain a platform where I can spread the message for mental health awareness, which will be active next month doing a bunch of things for mental health awareness. So I can get to the point where I have a bigger stage to really talk about these issues. And I'm glad it led up to that, what we're talking about now, where we can all be vulnerable together and it's okay.
and I
That's
think
really interesting for a Miami brewery kitchen bro
Yeah.
to approach us with that kind of a with that kind of an attitude. I wouldn't have expected someone who deals with Miami kitchens and cooking and in the
Yeah.
restaurant industry to be concerned with mental health issues because
Yeah.
it seems like a real boys club, and it seems like when you get in boys clubs, you tend to not focus on like well-being and like your mental
Yeah.
health and stuff like that.
No, I think it's super important, especially for Hispanic males. We grew up like, oye, no seas flojo, or like it's just a culture. So I think it's important again to just normalizing those talks and being vulnerable and talking about it. So it's again normalizing all of it. So I know we did events last year. I did an event at Tripping Animals. We did an event at Union. Um, Again, it was like a panel, a mental health panel. We're gonna be super active. I know next month I'm doing a walk, like a walk with Panolos. I have a Panolos team, and we're gonna be doing a walk. And yeah, like you said, in that industry, it's very tough. But it's something that goes on the daily. It's an unfortunate scenario with that industry. and yeah, I think it's important to normalize that in that industry. So again, I want to use that platform to be able to open the awareness in that industry and go to different breweries and do different talks or whatnot.
Yeah, I think, and I hope that we're past the point where where a man is expected to be like John Wayne all the time, where you don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
feelings and you get shot, and you get back up and you're like, I'm fine, nothing hurts, nothing, I feel nothing, I love
Yeah, yeah,
nothing.
yeah. And
I find that version of masculinity
yeah,
boring
yeah,
and two dimensional.
yeah. And it's something I feel like, especially like with my antics or personality, I guess it's so like out there, right? But like a lot of people don't see is that that's very exhausting. Like it's very exhausting mentally, to like being able to like do that all the time. There's times I just want to like after like one of those long like beer week like events and you're just all out personality, personality, personality. You're just like drained mentally. And yeah, there's times that you just want to like, all right, like leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anybody for like a day or two. And yeah, it's being able to like that's like a constant battle I feel like I have personally sometimes. So just finding that balance of being able to like keep an even keel, you know.
Well, I think that you're being a good advocate for it. I think I've also noticed you'll dye a piece of your hair, usually sometimes in like
Yeah.
green and yellow,
Green.
which are like some of the colors of
Green, yeah, green. So
mental
yeah,
health.
my hair is green. I was actually supposed to get it the whole back piece green yesterday, but I wasn't able to make that happen. Yeah, green, the green shirt. I'm always wearing green socks, green shoes, neon green all the way.
I mean, I used a little green streak in my hair when I
That was
dressed up
great.
like Panolo for
That was
Halloween.
great. Is there any way to can we put that up here somehow?
God, I wish I don't know if Pierre can find that. I tweeted that photo. If not, you can. If you go to my Twitter, you'll see I tweeted the
Actually,
photo.
let's do this. Let's do this. Hold on.
All
I'm
right.
gonna
Well,
find it
while
right
you
now.
do that, I'll explain it because like I am too old to dress up for Halloween. I am 47. But I always thought like I like going to the bar on Halloween. I think it's great. So I'll dress up just
Yeah.
for the people at the bar, and I was like, what am I gonna dress up as? So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's me.
The glare, the glare.
The glare,
Nice.
the
There we
glares,
go.
that's it. So I put on a Panolo shirt. I dyed some with some of my kids' paint, some of my kids' acrylic paint. I dyed a piece of a wig. I tucked it under my backwards hat, and I was Panolo for
You
Halloween.
you
So
definitely won. You won Halloween for sure
I
in
was
Miami.
like 10 people got that joke, but to those 10
I was
people,
gonna
Oh,
say
you
it
made
was
their
the greatest
day.
thing ever,
You
but everybody
made-
else was like, "Who are you?"
and it didn't
Yeah.
matter. And we went to like a beer event, and there were like, I don't know, 30, 40 people there, and those
Yeah.
people got it.
Everybody got it. Everybody
Those
got
people
it.
got it. They got that
Everybody
joke.
got it for sure. It was, yeah, I think it was at Box Elder, right? For their closing. It was their last day open, I think.
And that was it. Box Elder's
Oh,
last day.
And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah, well, before we let you go,
Yeah.
because you have been great. We got to make you play Kiss Mary Kill. We ask every guest to play Kiss Mary Kill with three of the things that they love. So
Okay.
three foods that they love.
Uh-oh.
So you got to Kiss Mary Kill. Mary's Coin Laundry, pan
Oh,
con
no. No.
el rey de la frita,
Oh, man. Why are you
And-
doing this to me?
Cazola's Pizza.
All right, so
Kiss
it,
Mary Kill.
it would have been very tough if you would have thrown a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich in
Damn,
there.
I
Oh
did mess
shoot,
up.
we should have done
I
that,
did mess
Carlos.
up. No, you know what? Change it. Man.
No.
Chicken sandwich. That's
All right.
it. Chicken
Yeah.
sandwich. Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, Rey de la Frita, and a Mary's Coin Laundry pan con bistec.
This is
Let's
so
have
hard.
it.
I hope El Rey de la Frita is not listening right now, but I'm gonna have to kill them.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
no.
to kill them.
Killing
Yeah,
the king.
but I love it so much. I love it so much.
I know you do.
Oh, this is gonna be tough. All
Who
right,
do you kiss? Who do you marry? Who are you staying with?
I think,
Can you eat pan con bistec every day? You did say that that was your deserted island. Oh,
but it's both
we
of
got
them.
both of them now.
It's both of them. All right. I think it's only right. I'm gonna kiss and make love to the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. 'Cause that's like a
You said
fling,
make
like
love.
that's like yeah, it's like every now and then it feels good, but you can't have Wendy's and fast food for the rest of your life. But then pan con bistec, that's
that's
big.
nutrition.
That's
That's
big.
nutrition
That's-
right
yeah,
there.
You get all your food groups. You get your veggies in there. You got your little
Yup.
salty. You get your bread. You got your bistec. So I'm marrying the love of my life, which is pan con bistec.
That makes sense. I think that makes sense, Carlos.
On that note, I don't think we can beat that.
Oh,
there's
look
the
at
photo.
that. God.
There's the photo.
Oh no.
Yes, yes.
This is so insider baseball. Like
Again, 10 people get that joke.
10
but
people
you're-
get it.
You're all
But they
welcome.
got in. They
But
all
for them,
like,
it's super funny.
Yeah,
to
you're
use
welcome.
a wrestling term, everybody popped when he like off their seats when he walked in and the people got it. They popped for sure. Like, oh my god, no way! And they wanted to take a picture with Carlos or Panolo, better said.
I know. I'm sure there's pictures out there with two Panolos.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey man,
That's
thanks so much, bro, for
No,
making
thank you
time
guys. Thank
and
you guys
talking with
both.
us. And I'm excited for whatever creative thing you do next. You know, whatever that is,
Thank you.
whether it's videos or food or beer or
Yeah,
whatever art,
definitely.
whatever you have coming down the pipe.
Yeah, definitely.
But
have
in the
some
meantime,
goals.
he's gonna do some laps around the block because he just had like two.
A bunch of cafecito,
He
yeah.
just
Look,
had a
there's
bunch of coffee.
There's a bunch left in here, but no colada going to waste.
Never,
But
baby.
thank you, thank you guys for having me, and more importantly, thank you for being able to have a platform where we can talk and being vulnerable and intimate together, where we can hopefully bring that awareness that's important for all of us.
Amen, brother.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Thank you guys.
Take
You
care.
got it.
Dale, guys. Have a good
Peace
one.
out, bro.
Dale, nos vemos. Qué rico,
Nos
man.
vemos. Qué rico está
Oye,
Panolo, man.
qué bueno estaba el podcast, man.
Eso es lo que está WhatsApp.
Eso es lo que está WhatsApp. Ya tú sabes. Dale. Cafecito drop.
Boom.
Dale, guys. Thank you.
Peace, bro.
Oh my God.
He's a great guy. He's a
Oh,
great guy, and
is.
he's got a good heart, and he's funny, and ultimately he makes something really cool, really great.
He's probably the most Miami person we've had on this podcast.
Yeah, I enjoy the very Miami-ness of
Yeah,
people
all of
like
the
that.
Miami. I
him
felt
and
it.
Alex Lackamore, who really brings the Kendall. He brings the Miami.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Amy, that feels like a show.
Yep.
So we're gonna have folks kind of check back on that dumb best new restaurants poll.
It's amazing. Come on, everybody, just vote for your favorite new restaurant based on the list that we have provided. That was from submissions that you provided.
And
Okay.
keep your eye on Panolo. Keep your eye on Miami Beer Week because it sounds like they have some interesting things planned.
For sure.
All right, Amy. Until
Next
next
week.
week.
Bye.
Deuces.